Welcome student. Today we will be learning a lesson from Environmental Studies Part 2, Standard 5th, Lesson number 4, Evolution, Module 2. In this lesson, we will learn the changes in animals and birds due to environment and natural disaster. So, in Module 1, I have already explained you about the changes. So, in this slide, you can see how the changes are there. So, in our Module 1, we learn how the unicellular organism rises into multicellular organism, and after that the changes are there. So now today we will learn more changes in animals and birds. Let's do the recap of our Module 1. So children, in Module 1 we learned evolution means gradual and continuous changing in plants and animal world. Some species dies out and become extinct because they were unable to adapt the changes which occur in environment due to natural calamities and disasters. This was the reason on various species of dinosaurs that had been disappeared. But because of the scientist Charles Darwin, who gave us a systematic explanation of the concept of evolution. From the fossils of dinosaurs with wings, we believed that some species of two-legged and winged dinosaurs changes into birds. We also learn about the stages of evolution of animals, how unicellular protozoa gave rise to multicellular organisms and developed gradually and also formed various classes of plants and animals. We learn about the stages of evolution such as invertebrates and vertebrates, where we learn the animals which have backbone are called vertebrates. Example, fish, birds, etc. And animals without bones are called invertebrates. So, children, all this we have discussed in our Module 1 video. So, let's proceed to our Module 2. Learning objectives of our Module 2. So, in this we will learn amphibians. Animals live in water as well as on land. Animals which crawl are known as reptiles. Then we will learn about mammals, apes who look like humans. Apes lives on trees. Amphibian. Animals who live in water and also on land. They are cold-blooded animals. They lay eggs. The skin of amphibian animals is moist. Their feet were webbed, which help them to swim in water. Example: frog, snake, turtle, etc. Birds. Children, we all know that bird lives on land as well as on trees. They flies high up in the sky. They too comes in vertebrates stage as because they have their backbones and their body divide into two parts, that is head and trunk. Children, you can observe this in our picture which is shown on our slide, that the body is divided into two. Reptiles. Animals who crawl and glide on the land, such as snake, earthworm, snail, etc. We call these animals as invertebrate stage because they are without backbone and spine. They can easily curl or fold their bodies and also able to change their shapes. Children, you can observe, for example, earthworm. If you put a finger on earthworm, it curls. So they are flexible. They can change their shapes. Mammals. They are the most developed animals among vertebrates. Mammals lay eggs. Mammals have some characteristics such as their baby grow in their womb for some time before birth. The baby is fed on the mother's milk as they comes out from their mother womb. After the birth, mammal's skin mostly more or less covered with hair. They are warm-blooded. Most are born alive. The young one fed milk produced by mother's mammary glands. Example related to mammals such as human being, cats, dogs, cow, monkey, etc. So students, you can see on the slide that the little calf is feeding by her mother, and another picture you can see a small calf is in her mother womb. Platypus and anthidia animals. So children, on your screen you can see these two animals. So let's study about these animals. These two species, platypus and anthidia, are considered as mammals, but they are different from others mammals because these species lay eggs and circle their young ones. Platypus is a duck-billed, weave-tailed, poacher food, egg-laying aquatic creatures. Mostly, platypus is found in Australia. They also known as amphibians creature. These egg-laying mammals still exist today, maybe because their ancestors took to the water. Scientists now suggest the egg-laying mammals, that is, platypus and anteater, are eccentric relatives to the rest of mammals, which bear live young one laying egg. They have a reptilian gait with legs on the sides rather than underneath the body, for instance, and a single duct for urine and feces. So children, these were about platypus and anteater. So these two animals are also coming in the stage of mammal, but the difference is that they lay eggs.
Apes are somewhat like human in appearance. So children, apes look like human in appearance. They mostly found on trees. These species were continued to live on trees, but later on forced to move around on ground and in grassland. Apes are a branch of old world tailless. The term apes excludes human and can include tailless primates. Consider monkeys such as Barbary apes. Children, on screen you can see how the changes is there in human face. Means you can see the different monkeys are there and the facial experience how they are you can see the change on the face. Apes eat a variety of plants and animals foods, with the majority of food being plant food, which include fruits, leaves, roots and seeds, etc. Human diets are different from that of other apes, due in part to the development of technology and a wide range of habitation. First human species found in African continent. They were called primitive man. Now on your screen you can see how these species evolved gradual and in time they gave rise to the human species. And also you can see the various changes in the human species. Student, we will learn more about apes and human species in our next lesson.
Children, on your screen you can see the skeleton of vertebrates animals such as fish, cow, crocodile, duck, birds and frog. So in this picture you can easily observe that they are divided into two parts, that is head and trunk, and they have their backbone or spine. So we can consider all these animals who are divided into two, means head and trunk, into vertebrate stage. Evaluation. Fill in the blanks. Animals without a backbone are called. Answer is invertebrate. Second, animals which have a backbone are called vertebrate. Third, dash are the most evolved animals among vertebrates. Answer is mammals. The first human species is called the dash man. Answer is primitive. Question number 2. Answer in one sentence. First, what do we call animals lives in water as well as on land? Answer is animals which live in water and also on land are called amphibians. For example, frog. Next, where do apes mostly live? Answer is apes mostly lived on trees. Third, where did first human appear? Answer is the first human species appeared in the African continent. Fourth, who are apes? Answer is apes are somewhat like human in appearance. Continuation of our evaluation part. Answer in brief. First, give the characteristic of mammals. So, the answer is the characteristic of most of the mammals are as follows. First, growth of the baby in the mother's womb sometime before birth. Second, the baby is fed on the mother's milk for some time after birth. Second, how and where did the human species evolve? Answer is first point, apes are somewhat like humans in appearance. Second point, they mostly lived on trees. Those species of apes which continued to live on trees retain the original apes-like form. Third point, some apes species found in grassland were forced to move on the ground. Fourth, these species evolved gradually give rise to the human species. Fifth, this happened first on the African continent. Fourth, fill in the blanks with the concept chart given below. Here, the flow chart is there of evaluation of animals. So, it is living things and then living thing is divided into two, that is invertebrates and vertebrates. So you are supposed to write the name of the things, means the answer, in the blank column. So in first stage of living thing, it is invertebrates, where animals without a bone is given. So here worms. So second means here you are supposed to write the animals which are without backbones. So they are worms. Then in blank you are supposed to write snail, then mosquitoes, then in this blank you are supposed to write insects. Now let's move to vertebrates. Now vertebrates, below that again the blank is there. So in that you are supposed to write animals with a backbone. Below that it is given aquatic. Then in blank you are supposed to write reptiles. Then birds is given. Then in blank you are supposed to write amphibians. Thank you, children.